Hello, community. Welcome. Good to see you here and here in the room, in the space. We'll get started in just a moment. As you're settling in, just get comfortable. Find a way to support your torso and your spine. Keep your head aloft. Hi, Marla. Glad you caught the new time. Hello, Tara. I see you. Thanks for being here virtually. Miss you in the room, but glad you're here regardless. Very, very grateful that we can all be together in all the many ways. Thanks for saying hello if you're jumping into the live stream. All right. So finding, once again, finding a seat, a way to commune with ground, a way to feel yourself supported and held. So at once being held downward in a fastening to the earth and being held upward in a way that allows a rising to take place. And then just settle into some sensation of the breath. With this, we can have eyes closed or just gently cast downward with a soft, slight gaze. Seeking to not take in anything too visually stimulating really is the point. The point is not necessarily to close the eyes, but to reduce the visual stimuli. And here we experience the breath arising and falling. Breath comes in, breath goes out. Just as the sun comes up and the sun goes down. The simultaneous rising of the moon, cresting and falling. Waves of breath do the same. Notice whatever else is present for you beyond your experience of sitting in your body and breathing this particular breath. Any present moment thoughts that may be troubling or may be pleasing. Any other sensations or stimulus in your environment that may be pulling you off center or out of focus. And simply acknowledge, name, and return. Just a couple of more minutes here. Taking breath in, allowing breath out. Bring some deepening to the breath, a quality of more alert presence as you return to your immediate surroundings and awaken to a more active thinking and listening state. One of the most common distractions during a meditation practice is the sounds in our immediate environment, the ambient noise of our surroundings. So perhaps if you're in your home and you hear like the annoyance of a television or somebody playing music too loud somewhere else in the house, or maybe you get pulled away by the sound of traffic outside or airplanes overhead. And then the mind starts to have ideas about these sounds. You know, why does he have to play that football game so loud? Just for example. Why are there so many airplanes flying right over our house all the time? Like, that person is obviously driving too fast because I can hear them whizzing down the street. You know, like, we have ideas, we have judgments, and sound can tend to bring those to the surface. Perhaps the sound is pleasing. Maybe it's raindrops or bird song. And then we get pulled into the pleasure of the moment, and we have ideas about that. How can I live my life so that I can get more of this, that clingy, graspy sensation when we're in a state of pleasantness? Sound itself is really nothing more, nothing less than vibrational waves moving through us, right? Sound is vibration. Sound is the vibrational quality of the universe and of our entire lives. And the ears are only the entry spot for these waves. As they make their way through our entire beings. And in fact, deaf people, while they don't hear through the gates of the ears, they listen and they know because they have the feeling capacity for the vibration. It's a huge part, these vibrations, of receiving information. Our fascia, our connective tissue, is highly receptive, tuned in like a well-tuned radio to receive the waves and the vibrations of our surroundings. We get information from the fascia, from the nerves, receiving vibrations around us before we ever even know it. The tingling in the spine when someone's coming behind you, but you can't hear them yet, but you have that sense that they're there. That's our body listening in a way that has nothing to do with audible sound, right? So the world is communicating with us at all times, always. We don't have a choice in the matter. And so, for times when we want to be focused, for example, like in meditation, one of the ways to work with these audible distractions is to listen from the whole body rather than some attempt to reject or turn away or fight back against the sound. So how does that even work? How would you experiment with that in practice? Let's try that now. We'll do a short sit. Find another way to be comfortable. Same way or another way from before. And we find just the right blend between comfort and alertness, between effort and ease. Close your eyes if you'd like, or simply cast your gaze downward. And take in a slow and steady breath all the way in. And release it, slow and steady, all the way out. And now allow the vibrations of ambient sound around you to enter your sphere of consciousness. Name them all. What do you hear right now beyond the sound of my voice? And rather than tuning those sounds out, can you listen from a deeper place inside? For example, if someone in your home environment is contributing distracting sound, playing a TV or music too loud, take in what they're listening to. And as much as you do that, take in their presence in your home and in your life. And listen to them in your shared arena with your whole self. If you hear nature sounds from outside, listen with the tissues and organs and blood of your body. Feel the vibrational resonance in recognition that you're made of the same stuff as that noisy nature. Carbon, nitrogen, iron, all of it descended from the stars above, the same stuff. Keep listening. Keep breathing. Keep tuning in to the vibrational quality of sound. So we're sort of sliding our awareness underneath what it sounds like to the ears. Going into less about what the source of the sound is and more about how this organism of ourselves can receive and absorb and release. Just as we receive and absorb and release each breath. Feel into your limbs. And as much as the arms reach out into the world and the legs carry us forward step by step, they also are receptive, just like the rest of us. So Could you imagine, could you fancy listening with your arms and your legs to take back in some of what you've given, to receive some of the strides you've made forward and out, to receive the earth back and in? How about listening from the belly, from the gut brain, which we're learning more and more now is just as intelligent, if not more so, than the head brain? Feel into your belly. Let it soften in the presence of sound. Let it digest what you hear. Can you allow the sense organs, the 4 of them that live above your neck, to soften into the rest of your body? So as much as what you're hearing, seeing, tasting, smelling is responding to the environment, receive the vibration of those realities. Take them in, listen with your whole body. And finally, allow the heart to be open enough to hear, to listen, to receive your circumstances, your humanity, your foibles, your wisdoms, all of the information that you process. Can it be done through the scope of a soft, compassionate, and present heart? Take another slow and steady inhale, easy exhale. When my kids were little and we'd hear an ambulance, a siren from a fire truck or an ambulance, and it can be scary for a little kid, especially if it goes right by you and if you're in traffic and you got to pull over and make way. And I would reframe it for them to say, that's the sound of somebody getting help. Help is on the way for somebody who needs it. And so that was a sort of, as I wasn't necessarily thinking of it in these terms then, but now as I reflect on that, I was reframing that sound to take it in from another place in the body, literally, to listen with an understanding of what that sound implied. That it wasn't just for the sake of itself a loud, scary noise. It represented something much more important and invaluable and celebratory, hopefully, right? So a couple of interesting little factoids about listening as a mode of education. This is from a book named called The Art of Listening in a Healing Way by James E. Miller. So it's the primary mode of most formal education. The estimates are that between 45 and 75% of a child's time in school is spent just listening, hearing words from a teacher. And it's true that as we grow into adulthood, we commonly spend large chunks of our days in the practice of listening, part of our work, part of our family life, social activities, leisure pursuits. And interestingly, for all of its importance in life, it's not generally taught as a subject, how to listen with your whole being. Here's an estimate that there are 50,000 speech courses in US colleges every year, but how many are there in listening? Right? I can't remember one, but certainly all the time there's whole cottage industries built up around how to speak. So how to put out the sound, how to put out the information, communication as a realm we think of only as a one-way street, as delivering a message, but we don't pay nearly enough attention to what it means to receive it, to take it in. The book titles in print about speaking, several thousand, and only a few hundred about listening. So it's an undervalued and underexplored skill, but it's an absolutely critical one when we're talking about interpersonal beingness and co-creation of livelihoods and relationships and life, really. We have to listen with our whole selves. Sanskrit, the ancestral language of yoga, is considered to be the language of perfected sound. And each letter is meant to be an expression of one corner of the universe. And in fact, the alphabet goes in order of the mouth and the sounds that it can make from the back of the throat to the lips. And words and chants are more than just representational concepts. It's not like here's my mug, and this is a thing, and the word mug is over here. It's that the word is the thing in this tradition. Words, sounds are the actual embodiments of our understanding of reality. So when we hear words, whether they're spoken by others or whether it's part of music that we're listening to or ideas even that we're speaking silently in our heads, the word doesn't even make a sound, and it's thought in a forest. Does anybody hear it come down? Right? We're experiencing a slice of our reality by using language in audible ways, and it has resonance inside. Animals know this. They don't know so much the actual word, but they feel the word and what it means in the way we say it. If I say to my dog, Prince, here, he's not going to come. But if I say, Prince, here, he's right by my side. And if it's a dangerous situation, Prince, here, he's also right by my side. He knows, he feels. This is an animal listening with its whole being. Okay? So, can we imagine, right, in this way of thinking being or being thinking, that it's not sound and us. It's not words and then me. It's not I'm speaking and I'm sending something out and it's no longer part of me. It's always part of me, whether I'm speaking it out or listening it in. So can we imagine that we could be part of that wave? For example, right here, it's late summer in the mid-Atlantic region, close to the coast, right? And that late summer, that August soundtrack of the cicadas, it sounds like a sprinkler system. That's a terrible, terrible rendition. But it's so we're part of that. Can we feel ourselves as part of that cyclical expression of beingness and ride that wave? What if I suggested you could listen to a sunset, and feel the vibration of the beauty of watching the sun sink below the horizon? Could we, in the arms of a loved one, not just physically hear the heartbeat, but to hear it with our own hearts as we held them close? Sit with that for our last little bit. And once again, tune into whatever sounds are present. And rather than hear them with your ears, feel them with your body. And there are no explicit instructions about how to do that. There's just the suggestion, the invitation that it's a possibility, that we could tune more readily into resonance than react to sound. And in this way of practicing, you might even welcome the next distracting noise to practice with it, to see what you can do with it, to see how you can feel it and receive it in a fully embodied way of listening. As we spend the last couple of minutes here, I'll offer this quote from Shakespeare relative to the idea of listening from the heart. Go to your bosom, knock there, and ask your heart what it doth know. So sitting with the presence of heart center, vibrating perhaps along with the feeling of your own heart beating, or with knowledge of the presence of care and compassion. Take a nice long inhale. And on the exhale, release your head down towards your heart. Take one palm and place it there at heart center and cover it with your other palm. And spend some moments feeling the vibration of your own heart, perhaps the lungs. Know that this can be a source of great wisdom if we learn to listen from this place. Thank you very much for joining me. May all beings be at peace. Take good care, everybody. Thank you.